The new Ambeo Plus from Sennheiser is already here, and not only the soundbar but the woofer also. So today I'm going to share with you my experience with this sound system, and to be absolutely honest with you, this is one of the most immersive speakers that you can get for a small home cinema. First of all, we are starting with the soundbar, because the two are separately sold. The soundbar will cost you somewhere around 1500 USD or euro, depending on the region that you are located, and I have to say that this is one of the best sounding soundbars that I have tested recently. Here we have 9 speakers in total in the soundbar. We have 4 side speakers, 3 front speakers, and also 2 woofers, which woofers will give you the option to watch movies with immersive sound even without the subwoofer that you can buy separately for around 700 USD or euro. I think everything will be listed below. First, we will be talking about the style, the outer shell of the soundbar, because it is very elegant. It can suit almost every furniture that you have put your TV on, or every single room that you are going to use the soundbar with your TV. One of the things that you have to know is that it is best to have a TV bigger than 55 inch, because this soundbar otherwise will be wider than the TV itself, because it is not a small one in any terms. Everything in the front is covered with mesh, and the upper side is plastic, and also in the upper side in the middle you can find the touch controls of the soundbar if you are not willing to use the remote control that is provided, or if you are not willing to use the Sennheiser application on your smartphone, which I will discuss in a bit. So the touch controls of the Ambeo Plus are actually good. They are very responsive, they are very easy to navigate, and also near the touch controls you can find a light which will light up when the Dolby Atmos is activated. So I have tested this soundbar with every kind of content that you can imagine. I have tested it in streaming platforms, I have tested it on YouTube, also with music, and I found out that Disney Plus has the best audio quality right now, and Disney Plus was one of the few that actually activated Dolby Atmos, because I don't have anything else to watch Dolby Atmos from. So I'll be sharing my experience mainly with the streaming platforms and music. At the rear of the soundbar you have a variety of ports. You have 2 HDMI ports, also 1 additional eARC port, which you will want to use if you want the full experience in the Dolby Atmos and stuff like this. You have optical, you have aux, also you have a jack for connecting to the subwoofer if you are not willing to use the Bluetooth connectivity that is presented with the subwoofer and with the soundbar itself. And nonetheless you have Ethernet and a USB port, so you have plenty of things to play with and plenty of ports to connect to your tech. One of the things that I want to tell you, and I suggest you to use, is the eARC port, because the eARC in my case enabled all the features that I wanted of this soundbar and the subwoofer. Otherwise it was running only on 2 channels. When I enabled eARC from my TV and made some settings, everything was going perfect, and this gave me the option to use the 7.1.4, so in this case 12 channels in total. You have 9 speakers in the soundbar, but you have 12 channels because of the virtualization that it is doing. And when it comes to virtualization, you have to keep in mind that this is actually a virtual surround sound. It is not a physical surround sound. Don't expect to be like in the cinema, don't expect to be like in an IMAX cinema or something like this. Here you'll be able to distinguish very clearly the left, the right channel, the rear channels, also the top channels, which was amazing for me, because this is the first time I experienced such a full sound from a soundbar that is 2 meters and a half in front of me. I have watched some series from Andor, I have also watched some series from the new season of Orville, and I have to say that my experience was absolutely great with this soundbar. It was flawless. I cannot complain about anything except of the fact that in the beginning the voices were a little bit muffled for me, and when I found the option inside the application of Sennheiser and on the remote control that enhances the voices, everything was absolutely great, everything was crystal clear. And as I tested the soundbar with the subwoofer and without the subwoofer, I have to say that from my experience I can say that it is better to get the subwoofer in set with the soundbar, because otherwise you will be losing something like 40% of joy from watching the movies and from listening to music. You'll be having bass from the soundbar itself because it is having 2 woofers at the top, but it won't be that immersive, it won't be that rumbling, it won't be that strong, that punchy, and the whole experience changes. The whole experience changes when you enable the subwoofer and when you get into a movie with many effects like Orville, Audio series, for example, because everything is new there. Dolby Atmos was activated. The sound was absolutely great. When starships were passing by, when shooting occurs, everything was incredible. One of the most important things that I have to mention is during my test that I wasn't able to exceed 60% of the volume. This is because I'm living in a flat, and in my flat, the living room that I actually have here is somewhere around 25 square meters. And for 25 square meters, I think that this soundbar with the subwoofer is a little bit of an overkill, because everything is very loud when you exceed 50%. And this is one of the points that you have to keep in mind, that I haven't been able to test the full potential of the volume of this unit, the full potential of the volume of the soundbar and the subwoofer, because otherwise the neighbors will be hearing me to the 6th floor, and I didn't want to annoy anyone. So I have been using up to 60% of the audio, and at 60% it was already very loud, but the sound quality wasn't degrading in any term. When it comes to music, every EDM fan, drum and bass fan, and pop music fan will be amazed by what you can hear from this set, from this pair, because I have been using it with Spotify on my TV, and I have to say that everything was sounding so good, so pleasing. Everything was just on spot, except of the bass, which for my hearing was a little bit high, and I had to lower it from the application. So I lowered it with something like 5 decibels, but my girlfriend enjoyed this music very much, and for her taste it was absolutely great with the subwoofer set on 0, but in my case I had to lower it a little bit. When it comes to rock music, everything was so full, everything was so rich, everything was so spacious. There was scene of the audio, because I also watched some live concerts on YouTube, and I have to say that the sound quality was absolutely great. I cannot complain about the highs, I cannot complain about the mids, I cannot complain about the bass, except of the fact that it was a little bit stronger. But if you want also, you can adjust every single setting of the audio from the Sennheiser application. And when we are talking about the Sennheiser application, you have so many modes in there. You have adaptive mode, you have movie mode, you have music mode, you have gaming mode, and every single mode can be adjusted personally to your taste, which is absolutely great, because you can adjust one mode for movie, one mode for music, and you can change them, or you can just leave it to adaptive and it will decide which mode to activate. I have been using every single mode, and I found out that the adaptive mode was the best for my usage, and it gave me the richest sound, it gave me the brightest sound, and it gave me the most spacious sound. The application is working very well, no matter if you are on Android or you are using an iPhone. You can download the application from the market and use it, and I suggest you to download it and to make all the settings from there, because otherwise you won't be able to fully set this pair, because from there you have to enable the room correction options, so it can play the sounds that I told you in the beginning. It can detect all the furniture and things like this in the room, and it can adjust itself. From there you can enable night mode, you can enable voice enhancement, you can check for firmware updates, which I highly suggest you to do, because most of the times the updates are making the sound better and they're clearing some bugs. So the Sennheiser application, in my opinion, is a must to be able to adjust most of the things and to leave it like that, and from there on you can use the remote control that is provided with the soundbar, and you can change everything from there. The greatest thing is that if you're using eARC, you'll be able to adjust the volume of the soundbar and the woofer from the remote control that you're using for your TV. It will do a pass-through, so everything will be absolutely fine. One of the issues that I found here with this soundbar was a little bit of lip sync desynchronization, and I found it in few scenarios. I found it when I was watching TV and with some videos on YouTube. It was a little bit harder for me to find, and I don't know if many of you are going to find it. I think that it is mainly because of my profession, that I am editing videos and I can see the lip sync desynchronization, and that's why I was able to find it, and it was in very small occasions, and it was absolutely insignificant in my opinion. opinion. And a little bit about the subwoofer itself. It can be connected to the soundbar with a cable or via Bluetooth, and actually I have connected it with Bluetooth because I don't want another cable to be going from here to there. It is a little bit annoying with the cables, and I prefer the Bluetooth connectivity. It has an 8-inch top-mounted woofer, so it is a closed system. And I have to say that it actually looks very nice. It is like a piece of furniture. It is looking very good. All the materials are looking premium, and I cannot complain about it at all. One of the things that I have to mention is to keep in mind that it is not okay to have some moving objects around the woofer, or you have some loose objects here and there, because from the bass, from the trembling, from the vibrations, everything will start falling. And if you have a plant, for example, somewhere there, it can start moving, and keep this in mind in case something falls off the shelf. In conclusion, I can say that the Sennheiser Ambeo Plus is a good addition to the Sennheiser lineup of soundbars, because we saw the Ambeo Max, which was absolutely insane, and I was able to hear it out, I was able to test it a little bit. It was a great piece of tech, it was a great soundbar, but it was too damn big. The thing that I want to mention here is that the soundbar is sold separately from the subwoofer, and they're not coming in a set. You have to buy the soundbar, also you have to buy the subwoofer. And the interesting thing is that if you're a bass maniac and you don't have any neighbors that are going to hate you, you can pair up to 4 subwoofers to this soundbar, which will make things absolutely insane. And I really don't know who is going to connect 4 subwoofers to this soundbar. If I have the option, I will make it just to test it out, so my neighbors will be pissed off. The sound is pleasing for movies and for action movies. For example, if you are a fan of John Wick movies, you'll be stunned by the audio that you can hear from there, because everything is so punchy with the subwoofer enabled. The voices are so clear, everything is so spacious, and almost all the channels are very well distinguished. You will be able to enjoy it for music also. I'll leave you a link down below in the description to the Sennheiser Ambeo Plus and the subwoofer, and I have to mention that this video is not sponsored by Sennheiser in any terms. The soundbar and the subwoofer were provided by Sennheiser, but they were not able to see this video before I posted, so everything is based on my personal experience, and everything is based on my hearing from this soundbar. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, if you find it useful, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.